Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. This particular film session is going to be on Alijah Vera-Tucker. He's played left guard, he's played right guard, he's played left tackle. So he has a lot of versatility to his game. He's going to go higher than some of the other pure guards because he has that versatility to play tackle, and he could possibly play tackle in the NFL. He doesn't have really the longest arms, but I think he has pretty decent feet to play tackle. And as you see by the splits, I mean, the distance between each lineman, he's basically playing tackle. I mean, he's not playing against edge rushers, but he's basically doing the same thing that he would be doing if he were playing tackle. I'll just run through here just so you guys can see that he's essentially just dropping in his kick set like he's a tackle. So let's just watch here. He's number 75 lined up right over top of number 30, the running back, and just watch him drop back. He's just going to just, as if he were a tackle. Same motion. I mean, their splits are so dramatic. I don't understand why they're so far apart, but it helps you kind of evaluate him as a tackle. As you see, the splits are so wide that they really let someone come right through because number 70 is so focused on double teaming this nose. I mean, it doesn't really make much sense. But anyway, you can kind of see him playing as a tackle. And he's got pretty good feet. Not too slow. You can watch him. Not really too slow. He's got decent feet. So this right here is going to be another example of how he's really got, a nice mobility. If you want to consider him as a tackle or as just a pulling kind of guard, I think he's got great mobility. You're going to see him right here at the left guard spot, again, right up in front of that running back. You're going to see him at the left guard spot pretty much just take a gigantic step, cover a lot of ground really quickly, and make a really nice block. So let's watch it here. First, I'll do it in slow motion, then I'll do it in real time. He's going to take a humongous step, stays on balance the entire time. You don't see any shakiness. He's on balance this entire time. You'll just see him get set and then anchor and drive this guy back. And it just shows the athleticism that he has to be able to make this big of a step and stay on balance completely. So, I mean, that's something that you'll see him do at tackle or at guard. It's just good to know that he can move like this. Now, here's another example. Again, he's number 75, your left guard on the screen. Here's another example of his mobility. He's going to start off pretty much, looking to the next level, and he turns this into a misdirection block. 7 thinks that he has a gap that he can shoot through, and he just hits the brakes and just makes contact, and it just turns into a nice gain. It shows that not only, again, like the last play, not only is he able to move, he's also able to be in control while he's moving. So, nothing too crazy. This is probably more something he will be doing at guard than tackle. But, again, good to see his movement. And this is another reason why I believe that you might want to keep him at guard, because I do think he can be a really good guard. And, again, I would take him higher than the other guards because I think he's comparable to Wyatt Davis about, where I would grade him. But the thing is, he does have that ability, if you needed him to slide out the tackle. So, again, he's number 75. He's your left guard. You got someone lined up right over the top of him. And you're just going to just see more proof that he's very mobile and can, run some of these pulling plays. He gets out of his stance in a hurry, gets around the corner, tight pull, pins this guy up, and he's not going anywhere. And you got a perfect play. Perfect play, everybody executed. He pulled, got his man. This next puller comes and gets this linebacker out of the way or a safety out of the way, even though he kind of missed his block. But great pull by Vera-Tucker. And this is just more proof of him in the run game. I mean, I'll show you one more play after this in the run game, but this is proof that he really can get it done in the run game. He's just not a finesse guard. He drives people. You're going to see him first drive this D tackle off of the ball. And then he's going to disengage, pass him off, great communication, and pick up this blitzer, number 7. So let's watch this in real time so you can see what I'm saying. 75 is going to block this D tackle, disengage, pass off. And that's what you're going to have to do in the NFL. There's a lot of stunts. There's a lot of having to pass guys off. And that's something that, frankly, the Giants' offensive line, especially Will Hernandez at that left guard spot, has had issues with. And Vera-Tucker is already pretty much doing this at a high level. I see this on his tape. He's pretty good at passing guys off and keeping that communication with the center. And listen, you can have all the technique that you want. That's all perfect. That's all fine. We love technique. We love great offensive line play, hand placement, all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, you're an offensive lineman and you got to be able to move people. And this is what you get this play. He's going to come off the ball and drive 92 out of the screen, pretty much. Drive him out of the club. He just hooked up onto him and just anchored him out of here. And look at the size of that lane, man. Look at the size of this lane. You could drive a motorcycle through this lane. You could drive a car through this lane. And he just took his guy out of the program. You love to see it from the offensive line. I think that every offensive lineman should be a mauler of some sort. You got to be able to drive people out of here. And that's exactly what he did. And this part of the video is going to be my criticism of him. He's, again, lined up at left guard, number 75. He's going to make another one of those huge steps and pull and do a great job of, watch how fast he gets to his man. You don't really see offensive linemen move this fast usually. So watch how fast he gets around the line and engages. And this is my issue. A lot of times you see him putting his head down and his hands end up coming over his head and he's not looking at where he's blocking. Or there's a hesitation and he doesn't trust his speed that he's able to get there and get hands on this guy and spring this running back. Because you got the play here. You got everything set up. You got everything set up here. You just got to finish the block. And he just can't finish this block. And this is something else that I've seen some pretty bad offensive line play on the Giants over the years where guys just don't decide who they're going to block and they end up blocking nobody. And this is what happens. I think Vera-Tucker has a little bit of an issue with decisiveness. And I do not have his 2020 tape at left tackle. Maybe he got a lot better at this. I'm not sure. But looking at his 2019 tape at guard, he has some issues with decisiveness. So he's going to come off of the line here and he doesn't decide who he wants to block. Are you going to block 90? You're passing him off. And then you don't find anybody else to block. So it's like he didn't know who he's supposed to block on this play. And that's just not what you want because you can see he starts to go for number 7 and then he realized I just let somebody, all the way through B gap. And that's going to shut down the play every time. So you have got to be decisive. You got to be more decisive. And I'll just show you one more play that just shows, him being indecisive at that second level. So this play here looks pretty much the same. He's very athletic. He's able to get to this second level quick, fast, and in a hurry. But when he gets there, he doesn't know who to block. He's looking at 1, he's looking at 7, and he doesn't know who to block. So I'm very sure that, he has an assignment of who he's supposed to block, but he just doesn't. I don't care if this guy number 1 or this guy number 7 was supposed to be blocked by somebody else or you didn't expect them to be there, even though they lined up there. But even if you didn't expect it, just find a guy and knock a guy on his butt. Because you see right here the fullback or the H-back, whatever you want to call him, he's going for number 1. And by the time, 75, Vera-Tucker realizes that he's going for number 1, it's already too late and you got 2 people trying to block the same guy. So this is a miscommunication issue. And this is just, you got to be decisive. Even if you're going to go get number 1, go get him. Go get him, maul him, because if you're 100% going after number 1, 84 has enough time to recognize this and go get number 7. So because you're being indecisive, nobody gets blocked. Nobody gets blocked. And the running back ends up, making a play out of it, but ends up fumbling because you got two people in your face. So overall, my thoughts on AVT, Alijah Vera-Tucker, I think he's probably going to be best at guard. I do think he has the potential to play tackle. If somebody takes him there and they say, I want him to play tackle for my team, I think he can do it. And I will probably have him as my number 4 or 5 ranked tackle in this league. In this draft. So I think he could possibly do it, but I want him to stay at guard, want him to move back to guard because he played left tackle last year in 2020, and just continue to develop and just be more confident in himself. When he hits that second level, hit that second level, block that guy. Don't hesitate. That's pretty much my only issue with him. I think he could be a little bit stronger at the point of attack. He's not necessarily a mauler, but he does have good technique. He's got great pass. He's got great feet for pass protection. And I think he'd be a solid guard. I think he'd be a solid starter day one. I don't think he'd have to deal with much growth, even as a rookie. So you guys let me know what you think of AVT. I'm a Giants fan. Would I be mad if we took him at 11? No. But I don't think he's worth that pick. But he is in the mix. He's in the mix for, anywhere in the teens. I think Alijah Vera-Tucker could possibly go. So if you made it this deep into the video, I'm calling you a D6 squad member. If you're a D6 squad member, you got to hit that subscribe button. You got to turn on that notification bell. And listen, I make all kinds of content for NFL teams. So if you're not a Giants fan, don't worry. I'll cover your team. If I'm not covering your team, let me know. And have a good one.